All right, so let's look at Gauss-Jordan elimination to solve the system equations. And the first thing I need to do is to do Gauss-Jordan elimination. Gauss-Jordan elimination means you're going to put something in reduced row echelon form. So in reduced row echelon form, notice you have not only do you have row echelon form has zeros, one's diagonal and zeros in the bottom there, bottom triangle, and then the reduced row echelon form had zeros above the diagonals as well. So here's what you're going to need to do. First off, you need to get it to reduced echelon form. Now, this is the same problem as example 2b. So reduced echelon form from number 2b is this, and we're going to work off of this. And it was 1, 0, 0. Remember, there are multiple ways. There are other reduced echelon forms that are acceptable here. 1, 9, 0, 3. Now, my first step, I'm going to copy this down again because I'm going to start doing some work, is I've got to make, and the goal is to get these three right here have got to become 0. You got to make these 0. Okay. So let's get started. I'm going to copy down my reduced echelon form again to -2/3, 1, 9, 0, 3. So my first step is I'm going to see how could I make, I'm going to start with this one. For this row, I'm going to see how can I make those disappear. Well, what if I add them? If I add those together for row 1, that would make that nothing. So R2 plus R1 is what I want to do first. Okay. So as I do that, I get 1, 0, 0, because adding those two, this gives you that. -1 plus -1. By the way, these bottom two rows are not going to change. So because I'm just messing with row 1. So the bottom two rows are not going to change because I'm doing this operation. It's just changing that. So R2 plus R1, -1 plus 1, 0. 2 plus -2/3, that's 4/3. And then 9 plus 0 is 9. Our next mission is to make this be 0. Now, here's the thing. I've already got 1 and 0 here. I don't want these to change. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mess with this third one because there's 2 zeros in that spot. And so whenever I do an operation with that, add it to this, it'll still be 1 and 0. I don't want this 1, 0 to change. So I have to go to the third row. So what can I do with the third row to make this like the this row? Couldn't I do 4/3 times row 3, okay, minus row 1. 4/3 times 1 is 4/3 minus 4/3, 0. But I've got to do it to that as well. So as I do this, I'll still have the 1, 0, 0. I'll have, because 4/3 times 0, 0 plus 1. 4/3 times 0, 0 plus 0, 0. Right? And then 4/3 times, that'd be 4/3 minus 4/3 is 0. This doesn't change. This doesn't change. This and this doesn't change, but this will. 4/3 times that, that's 4. 4 minus 9, that would be -5. All right, so I made a little mistake here, and I want to figure out what I should do here is I should do -4/3 R3 plus R1. So -4/3 times 1's -4/3 plus 4/3 is 0. -4/3 times this is -4 plus 9, which is 5. So this is +5. So I apologize about that mistake. Okay. Next, I need to get a 0 right here. Okay. And so to get a 0 here, I'm going to work off that. And so what do I need to do to this bottom one? I need to do 2/3. Oops, I'm going to write this in the second row. 2/3 times row 3 plus row 2, because this is going to be a negative, now make it a positive. So 2/3, let's go ahead and copy this down. 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. So now 2/3 times 1, 2/3 minus 2/3 would be 0. And then 2/3 of row 3, that would be 2. 2 plus 0 is 2. So it'd be 2 here. And then 1, 3. And so now I have it in reduced row echelon form. Okay, so this would be giving my answers. So my x would equal 5, my y would equal 2, my z would equal 3. You could also do this in the calculator. I can write out the steps. So using the calculator. Later. All right, so use the calculator. So I can go to second matrix. So do second. I'm gonna box this off. So second, and then matrix, X inverse, which is matrix. Go to edit, and then matrix A, select matrix A. So edit A. It's going to be a 3x4 matrix, okay, because you got 3 rows and 4 columns. And then enter the coefficients into the matrix. Okay, second mode to get out of there. So if you need a moment to enter the coefficients in there, you can. I've already entered them in there. Second, you can see they're just match up with that. Second mode to get out of there, which is quit. Okay. Then I'm going to go to second X inverse. I'm going to go to math. Okay, so second X inverse math. So second X inverse and then math. And I'm going to go down to option B. Select option B, RREF. Okay. So press enter. And then you're going to do second matrix or second X inverse, which is matrix. I know. Second X inverse, which is matrix. And you're going to select matrix A. So second X inverse, select matrix A. And so you get RREF of matrix A. And that gives you your answer. You notice you get that answer. Okay. So you got 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, and then 5, 2, 3. So you can use your calculator if you want.